Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. And you are now live with Soul. I'm Soul. Hey, don't forget to hit that like, subscribe, and that notification bell so that you can know each and every time I upload. I upload when I feel like uploading, okay? Because listen, I try not to upload, but when God tells me to upload, I have to be obedient. So hit that notification bell because you just never know. Today's topic, y'all, and I had to come outside. I live in Cleveland and it's cold. So I'm inside. But I want to talk about generational curses. Wow. And I want to talk about generational curses because it is and has affected my life today. Ooh, child. And I got my sage. Guess we go do some saging because once I talk about it, I don't want it to stay around. I don't want it to linger. I'm just bringing it up for a reference. And baby, I need her to go back to where she came from. Held over there, disorderly conduct somewhere else. I don't want it over here. So let's do this right now before I'm gonna light this right now before we talk about it, because Lord knows I don't need another storm. I'm just bringing awareness, letting us know about, yes, Ashe, Selah, Amen, and that's for real. So I'm gonna let this sage burn while we talk about generational curses. So as for me, I'll start with my mother's side of the family that I know of. Generational curse that I just repeating myself, y'all. Generational curses that's in my family on my mom's side. Let's see. For one, I know that we don't communicate on that side of the family. People don't like to talk about things. Everything is hush hush, closed mouth. It never happened, which becomes delusional. So it's almost like you become a pack rat. You have this canister or this bowl, or you have your soul, your body, and you are packing and hoarding and holding on to things that hurt you. It's like when somebody say something or do something to you, you like, I'm gonna remember that. I'm gonna remember that because when I get to where I'm going, I'm coming back for that. It's stuff like that. So communication. A lot of people in my family on my mom's side have been hurt, whether it be rape, abuse, mental health, the lack of support. The list could go on and on. But from fear, no one talked about it. No one shed light on it. As a matter of fact, in those days, I think people were deemed crazy if you talk about some stuff. So I understand now that my grandmother has passed. Some of the things that she went through. Example, she was born and raised in California, but somehow, some way, she ended up in Shreveport, Louisiana as a teenager. And she's passed now, so I don't really know her story to say it, but just think about that. You grew up in one place and you got sent to another, so her mental was already gone. So she saw one thing in California, and whatever transpired, she stuck with her. And then she got to Louisiana, and it was just more. She was becoming a pack rat. So she was not able to talk about her feelings or her emotions, because I don't think that was common back then. So she held it in. And with that holding things in, she became bitter and not knowing. And you can become bitter and not knowing that you're bitter. So my grandmother pretty much was in flight mode all her life. All her life. And because of that, that's how she moved and lived her life. So as far as finances, my family wasn't big on finances. Everyone was poor, trying to make it. They didn't come from much of anything. So the little that they had, instead of trying to multiply it or learn to grow it, it was just survival of the fittest. Like, this is what I got. I got to do the best that I can to move. And that's just the story of the people. So then my grandmother had children, and it showed that the generational curse continued, even with trauma and abuse. So then you have my mother. My grandmother was sent to live with someone. My mother was sent to live with someone. My mother's passed as well, again. And so her stories of generational curses was trauma from non-communication, being in flight mode, being with separation anxiety, not understanding the truth. That carried on. And then her first child was me. So then I was born into that generational curse of separation anxiety, of no wealth, of no communication, of always being in flight mode, of not healing from things that hurt you. I came straight from the tunnel, fresh to 780. And I carried that trait. And my mom passed. I got sent to live with someone. So me growing up I'm in the same path as my grandmother, trying to figure it out, trying to understand, trying to belong, not communicating because I wasn't taught that, but it's inside of me. And I'm looking around my family, and I know that I'm different because I want to talk about it. So I would get whoopings a lot. Thank you, Lord. I would get whoopings a lot. My dad said I talk too much, but I had to speak it. I had to get this off of me. And as a child, I understood the assignment of that, of speaking, but I did not understand the assignment of why. So I fell in that line of making bad decisions. I ended up being incarcerated. And then my children got sent to live with someone else. So before I die, I have been working on me to end the generational curse. And that's accepting, understanding, forgiving, owning, and moving forward. Healing. So I've accepted the path of not communicating, for holding in your emotions, for being irrational, just simply being human, right? I've accepted all of that. And I've healed from communicating, because I communicate more than my family did, but I still have reservation. I know that sometimes in my communicating, my words don't come out right. So I'm still learning how to communicate with effective vocabulary. Yeah. And my children are grown now. So at this point, I just pray that God will soften their heart. Because, Pharaoh knew that a famine was coming. He knew it. And God sent Moses out to Pharaoh to warn him, right? And Moses was like, God, why are you sending me over there to Pharaoh? You know he ain't gonna listen to me. You done sent so many people in this, man. It's crazy. Come on now, God. Get somebody else to do it. And God was like, I'm picking you. So saying that to say, God picked me to be in situations knowing that some people's hearts were so hardened. And it hurt. And that was a lesson in that of their hearts being hardened for me as well as them. So I'm just saying at this time in my life, I'm praying for the generational curse to be released over me, over my children, and that God will soften my daughter's hearts as he did for Pharaoh with Moses. I know it's generational curses that have been brought up in my marriage, which my marriage hit a storm. And so with my wife and myself, we both have to heal and realize the deal breakers, right? And I was studying T.D. Jakes today and was talking about storms and saying some storms are not your fault. And that was good, because the storm that I'm in right now, I really thought that it was something that I've done. Because, you know, people, humans will say when someone's going through something, like, oh, there go their karma. They getting it back. They did something. And that's not always the case. So realizing that some storms are not your fault. Some storms are there to see how you move. So in this storm, I am being steady in with my faith, and steady in prayer that the generational curse will end. I am steadfast in knowing that healing has begun, but I'm asking for healing to go ahead and take place. And that with the generational curse, that we talk about it, right? So we talk about the things that we realize, that's the word, we realize what we're facing. So you have to talk about it, and most definitely you have to pray about it, and have to communicate. And with generational curses, sometimes with generational curses, it's so much trauma that's attached to that situation or that storyline that bringing it up, you can hit below the belt. And I ain't saying that it's right or fair, but sometimes when you bring up touchy situations, it makes you go so low below the belt. And that's when you have to know in your test that the storm, that's not your fault. You have to be strong in knowing and realizing and counting. You have to point that thing out. You got to have discernment to point that thing out, to be like, all right, God, this is you. This is your test. This is not the devil, or God, this is the devil and I can't do it. Like, you have to know in your storm that this is not your fault. It is your fault, or whatever the case may be, but you got to be strong and steadfast in the storm. So with your generational curses, just saying, learn to heal from them, accept, come out of denial. And that's one thing with the elders. Our elders don't talk, okay? Some of them do, but we have some elders that will not speak up, and they are the ones that will continue the bad energy, right? And if that's the case, then we got to continue to pray for those elders. But you got to end that with the elders. And baby, listen, with my own grandparents and my own parents in my family, I cut everything off that is not in alignment here. Because everybody have their own lives. I'm trying to create my own family. And I can't create my own family when I'm attached to my old family, meaning my dad, my sisters, my brother, my grandmother, my grandparents. I have to release that part. I'm understanding and accepting the generational curse that came from them. But if they're still stuck in that generational curse, I have to let them go. And I have to work on my own family. Because in my family, I need it to end, and I need it to cease, and I need it to stop. Within my own personal family, I need new healing, I need new understanding, I need new growth, and I need love within my own family. And that's one thing that we all forget and we don't think about with generational curses when we're attached to things. We gotta, even though it's family, means nothing. Even Jesus said when he was out in the field with people, his family came, his brother, I think his sister, some cousins or someone was coming to him, was like, Jesus, Jesus, where have you been? Your mom's been looking for you. And Jesus like, wait, I'm with my people. I'm already with my people. So saying that to say, we have two types of people. You have your people that you were born with, and then you have the people that you created for your family. And so for me to end that generational curse of people that I was born with, I needed to end that and heal from that, because I want a healthy relationship with my family, with my children, and with my spouse. So with that being said, I pray that God softens the hearts of those pharaohs that's in your way, of those pharaohs that's in your life, that you can recognize that this storm is not your fault. It is not karma, that it is just a test. It is just a test. And that you must end and recognize the generational curse. Recognize it, pray over it, work on it, talk about it. We have to talk. It's one thing that we don't like to do. We don't like to do the heart work. And the heart work is hard work. It is so hard, and it's so easy to say, I can't do it. Because if we tap in, we're going to keep tapping in, and that's something that I don't want to deal with. But that is something that you need to deal with, the surface. Because if you get to the root of everything, then that's when you can begin to heal and have understanding and have more love, compassion, mercy, and grace, not only for yourself, for your situation, for your family. And then you can offer it to other people to end the generational curse. So I ain't gonna keep, I ain't gonna be long. I said that, the generational curse for me was accepting, realizing, understanding, and I had to let that go. I'm still dealing with it. I'm still learning. I'm still healing each and every single day from the curse that was planted. And these curses are like years and years and years and years and years and years and years. So yeah, no, I'm not going to end it just with one prayer or just with one time. I got to keep working on it. And I am steadfast in working on it. I'm a firm believer. And y'all, I do want to have another kid. As a matter of fact, I didn't claim it. I said it was a boy. He didn't got his name and everything. And he is not going to be... he's going to be a little bit better for him, because I recognize it, and I know how to set him up, and I know what to pray for, and I know what to look for with him. And I said him, and I'm going to continue to claim that it is going to be a boy. But I claim that for my next child does not have to experience what I've experienced, what my mother, my grandmother, or my children experienced, what my spouse had to experience. I just claim the goodness, and I claim the goodness for you too. I claim that you all walk in your destiny, that you end the generational curse within yourself, that you accept, that you realize, and you work on your own family. Heal, love, understand, communicate, and know that if you are in this storm, it is not your fault. God loves you. He loves me. And these are just messages to encourage you and encourage myself. Y'all, I had to do the sage because, like I said, I didn't want that to continue to linger in here. And sometimes things try to attach itself while I'm in this storm. I'm still in the storm, and I don't need nothing else attaching to me while I'm here. I want y'all to have a great day. And I'm going to see y'all next time. So hit that like, subscribe, comment, and share. Because you never know what we got going on. Until next time. Hey. Say Jonia.